You're talking about Make in India. You're also talking about reforms in the system. The armed forces, Mr. Minister, are very keen on integration, not just in name, but actual integration of service headquarters with Ministry of Defence. Two questions here. Does the country need a Chief of Defence Staff? And two, can a Major General, for example, be appointed as Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Defence?
I'll not link it with rank, because I'm not aware of what rank is equivalent to what. Okay. But I think integration has to begin, and Chief of Army Staff is a must.
Chief of Defence Staff?
Defence Staff, sorry. Chief of Defence Staff is a must. How do you work it out? Give me some time, I'll work it out. Because the three forces integration does not exist in the current system. I need helicopter. Who flies it? Army Aviation Wing और एयर फोर्स, उसके ऊपर ही झगड़े होते हैं. आर्मी के हेलीकॉप्टर यूनिट रहेंगे, वो दिन रात उधर ये करेंगे. एयरफोर्स का अलग प्रोटोकॉल रहेगा. वो मैच नहीं होगा, आपको मालूम है, वो मैच नहीं होगा. सो आई एम नॉट क्रिटिसाइजिंग, बट फोर्स इंटीग्रेशन and requirements integration as well as overlapping, that will save us money, because overlap will be the number of items will be reduced and better utilization can be ensured.
Can you give us a time frame? कब तक आप CDS लेकर आएंगे? Because 2001 से been hanging fire.
चीफ मिनिस्टर होने के बाद एक सिखाओ टाइम फ्रेम कभी भी मत दे दो. अगर दे दिया तो नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में मैं आप पूछूंगा, you will ask me, अरे क्या हो गया? There are, because from my time frame it can be yesterday, but in Government of India there are procedures and higher authorities. This cannot be done by Raksha Mantri himself. It is a cabinet committee on security which will have to take the decision. So when the authority is not with me, I don't give you time frame. But
will you recommend it immediately or soon?
It has to be recommended with the very clear aspects it will deal with and how to do it. But more or less in next 2-3 months from my side, my note or the recommendation or the briefing will go to the right place.
General, what do you make of the minister's commitment? Next 2 to 3 months he will recommend a Chief of Defence Staff. Recommend, make a note.
No, I'm not saying I'm recommending Chief of Defence Staff.
The appointment.
You are putting words in my mouth. I said I am recommending a mechanism for creation of a post of Chief of Defence Staff. Who will be the Defence Staff, how he is appointed will be part of that briefing. But I believe that 1, 2, 3, 3 service chiefs are there. Today there is a chairman.
Chief of Staff Committee.
He is virtually a figurehead. So make him more effective, whatever name you call him. He should be able to have discussion with all three and work out strategic requirement and strategic needs and some powers.
Now, George Fernandes referred to China as India's enemy number 1. Does that perception stay now that you are Defence Minister?
I'll tell you my own experience about a neighbor. Where I stayed originally, the neighbor were very noisy, a small family, and there was a lot of dispute in the neighborhood. One of them probably was always remained high on alcohol at night and fought. And I was in IIT, so my mother had a very strained relation with the neighbor because they used to create a nuisance at night time. When I came, I thought of the problem and then realized that we can't become non-neighbors overnight unless we shift or they shift. The best solution was I had a talk with him and worked out a solution somehow, which I realized resulted into much reduction of tensions. I gave him some solution. I talked to his supplier. I told supplier that you don't allow him to leave the taven, as we call in Goa, immediately after he consumes. Thoda der udhar bitha do. So all kinds of mechanisms were done. to ease the situation. I think the best way to deal with any neighbor is work out better relations. But that does not give a right to Raksha Mantri to be not non-prepared or unprepared or underprepared. So these two things are isolated. I will love to have China as a very good friend, love to have even Pakistan as a very good friend. And don't make it as a matter of today's discussion. Don't take it out of context. What I am trying to say is you should have a good relationship with your neighbors. That's the best way one can. But hardly anyone has. Ask them. The ऊपर वाला खड़ करते रहता है, सो नीचे वाले को नींद नहीं आती. बाजू वाला क्या करते रहता है मालूम नहीं, क्या पकाता है भी मालूम नहीं. उसका बास आता है वो, you can't manage that. So all this kind of.
वैसे जो बाजू वाले का बास आता है उसको कैसे पाकिस्तान से डील करेंगे? नहीं, I am trying to tell you, everyone has at least one neighbor with whom he is having a tussle. You ask who has all good neighbors. Very rare you will get. Before I ask them, they have a lot of questions for you.
No, I'll finish it.
Okay.
So the best way is to piece off relation with the neighbor, live with some disturbance of his also, but prepare yourself for the eventuality. In that case, he also becomes a good neighbor.
Okay. As far as China is concerned,
I have not completed. The day I became chief minister, वो छोटा लफड़ा बाजू में था, उसको लोकल पीआई जाके उसको बोला, तुम रात को 10 बजे के बाद में गाली खरोच दे दिया, बड़ा आवाज किया, तो तुमको मैं जेल में डाल दूंगा. I didn't know this. He suddenly मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर बनने के बाद, because I used to stay at my place only, उसका रात को बम बंद हो गया. So if you have a don't put me on that VIP culture, but if you have enough strength, the neighbor, even if he can't be totally controlled, gets under control automatically. So we have to develop the control strength.
Are we developing that strength when it comes to China, especially infrastructure development, both in the northeast and in eastern Ladakh, sir?
I have to develop it. There is no choice to it. You are asking me a question which is without a choice.
General,
how do you save money on it? With minimum money is a concept you can develop, but you have to do it.